Our guest of honor, the Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Tatenda Maletera. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Mrs. Chirume. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Mr. Nick Mangwana. Distinguished government ministers, permanent secretaries, directors from various government departments, all senior government officials here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Avantis Board Chairman, Mr. Cassius Gambinga, Avantis Board members, CEO of Avantis, Mr. Ari Goldstein and his wife, Veronica, business partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome, I'm Rubeneko Karinatwa, and I'm so honored to be your host for the evening. Maybe I'll get a louder good evening if I greet the Arsenal fans. Yes? Not so much. Us Man U supporters are here. Yes? All right. Tonight, beneath the chandeliers of one of Zimbabwe's finest establishments, we are making a declaration that Zimbabwe is not only a consumer of technology, but can become a creator, a manufacturer, an innovator within the global economy. Avantis is asking questions. Why have we normalized uncertainty in our technology markets? Why do so many consumers buy devices without confidence in their authenticity, durability, or origin? How many of us have pressed Control and Shift on our keyboard, expecting a question mark or a hash, and we realize that another figure comes out? And in that small moment, we realize that something about the product is not quite original. Ladies and gentlemen, Avantis Technologies is in the Zimbabwean market with a bold promise: authenticity, continuity, credibility, and innovation for the future. This is a company manufacturing laptops, tablets, televisions with globally recognized Intel chip technology, backed by quality assurance systems and certainties that inspire confidence in both consumers and institutions. So we look at what we're launching tonight and what we're looking at, the products that they're bringing us tonight. You'll know that you'll see later in the program, there's the Parrot 1030i, which is a key flagship product that Avantis wants to present to you this evening. And we get the privilege of experiencing that. A beautifully sleek, intelligence, performance-driven technology designed for a market that is ready to evolve. Now, even more exciting than the products themselves is the vision, because the future conversation is no longer just about gadgets. It's about infrastructure, AI, data sovereignty, our ability as Africans to build our own systems, data centers, and AI models tailored specifically for our own realities. So Avantis is stepping boldly into that conversation. So tonight, we're looking at everything that Avantis is doing, and we celebrate it. It's about legacy, it's about belief, about building enterprises that outlive trends and contribute meaningfully to Zimbabwe's economy. And as Avantis prepare for its listing on the VFX, tonight's launch becomes even more significant, because listings are not simply financial events. They are confidence statements that signal transparency, ambition, governance, and long-term commitment to growth. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight you're witnessing the launch of possibility. So may this evening spark partnerships, may it inspire investments, may it ignite curiosity, and may it remind us all that Zimbabweans' enterprises are still the best way to go, and we have the capacity to dream boldly and to build globally. Welcome to this evening, the official launch of Avantis Technologies. I thank you. Our first speaker this evening is going to be the board member of Avantis. And he is a man who we know for many different hats that he wears. He sits on boards, and he's an executive director of the IDBZ. So please help me welcome very warmly to the stage to give us our welcome remarks, Mr. Cassius Gambinga.
Minister of Information, Communication Technology, and Postal and Courier Services, and guest of honor, Honorable Tima Vetera, permanent secretaries, honorable guests, distinguished business leaders, government officials here in present, members of the media, our valued partners and investors and fellow Zimbabweans, good evening. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as chairman of this new innovation-driven technology company founded by a determined group of young Zimbabwean entrepreneurs with one shared vision to prove that Africa can build technology that meets global standards. Today is not simply a launch of a product. It is the launch of confidence, capability, and a new chapter in Zimbabwe's technological and industrial journey. We viewed for many years primarily as a market for products developed elsewhere. Yet across this country, across this region, across this continent, there exists extraordinary talent, creativity, intelligence, and ambition waiting for opportunity to flourish. Our company, Avantis, was born from that reality. A group of young entrepreneurs came together with the belief that Zimbabwe has the capacity not only to consume technology, but to create it, to manufacture it, and export it competitively across the region and beyond, as you shall witness this evening. Today, we are unveiling our product, the Parrot 1030i, manufactured here in Zimbabwe, designed with innovation, quality, durability, and performance at its core. A product that is built to meet international standards and compete confidently in both local and regional markets. This achievement, ladies and gentlemen, demonstrates that with vision, investment, determination, and collaboration, innovation can stand shoulder to shoulder with the best of the world. This laptop we are launching today represents more than advanced technology. It represents opportunity. It represents opportunities for students, young engineers, the software developers, technicians, designers, suppliers, entrepreneurs. It represents jobs for our people, skills development for our youth, and confidence in our local industries. Most importantly, it represents belief in Zimbabwe's excellence. It aligns with our national vision, Nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. We are proud of this product, which has been developed with strong commitment to quality and reliability. You see that it's got a modern design and will compete globally. From performance to functionality, every detail reflects our determination to deliver technology that satisfies the expectation of today's demanding users. As we launch into the Zimbabwean market, we also have a vision to expand across Southern Africa and beyond. And our goal as brand Avantis is very clear: to build a trusted African technology brand recognized for innovation, quality, and reliability. But our ambitions do not end here. We envision a future where Zimbabwe becomes a center for technological innovation and manufacturing in Africa. To our investors and strategic partners, thank you for believing in the power of youth, innovation, and brand Avantis. To our engineers, developers, our production teams who have worked into the night, and every young entrepreneur behind this vision, today's achievement belongs to you. To government and industry stakeholders, we appreciate your support for local manufacturing, innovation, and empowerment of the youth. The world is changing rapidly and technology is shaping economies, industries, and societies. We cannot afford to remain on the sidelines of this transformation. Today, we take an important step in that direction. Ladies and gentlemen, great nations are built by people who dare to dream beyond present limitations. Great companies are built by people who refuse to accept that excellence only comes from elsewhere. Today, we proudly say that world-class technology can come from Zimbabwe. On behalf of the board, management, and the entire Avantis family, I thank you for joining us on this historic occasion. Together, let us innovate, let us industrialize, and let us build the future of our beloved country. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gambinga, for that. We look at how African technology has evolved, and the ultimate fact is that Africa has about 70% of the continent without access to electricity, but somehow everyone's phone is on 87% battery. You wonder how that works, but it's because we are innovators and we find pockets that work for us. So this is what we're celebrating here tonight. As I introduce the man, right, the myth, the legend behind what we're here to do, this is his moment now. I want to tell you a little bit about what I understood when I met with him before this event. Now, many of you in this room know him, and that's why many of you are here, because he's worn many different hats over his decades of his career, and he's had a remarkable story. And the brand, the founder, Mr. Ari, we celebrate you today. A story of resilience, foresight, and relationships built over decades. A story connected to one of Zimbabwe's greatest entrepreneurial journeys. Long before the world knew the billionaire businessman we celebrate today, he was simply Strive, a young man building a dream. And Ari was among those recognized by Mr. Masiwa, and he was handpicked to work with him from the very beginning. And he was mentored, and he was basically molded in many ways into the man he has evolved himself to be today. So when you have a mentor like that, I mean, what more do we expect, right? So he has found a way and carved his own path. Given what Zimbabwe needs, he's understood the needs of the market. He's understood what Africans can do. And he's cultivated a young team. When I went to his office, I was so amazed by how young the team was. And that's also something that I celebrate. As a young person myself, sorry for those of you over 40, we still love you. But as a young person, I think that's exactly where innovation is. That is where the world is going. So we celebrate you tonight, Mr. Ari Goldstein. And at this moment, we'd like to give you the stage. So if everyone in this room could just give the man his flowers, because this is a big moment for him. If I could ask you with everything you have in you to warmly welcome Ari Goldstein to the stage.
Thank you so much, Ruveneko. All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Honorable Minister Tatenda Mavetera. I would like also to thank the permanent secretaries, Mkomanik Mangwana, Mrs. Churume, e-government PS in the OPC, Dr. Matekaire, my brother from also, I didn't see you here. Thank you so much for coming. I am honored for you to be here. He's the chief director in the ministry, in the OPC in e-government. Members of the diplomatic corps, UNDP represented United States, Botswana, I don't know if they are here, and Mozambique. We thank you, sir. And also my mother, those who knew me when I was a young man, taken from the streets by Dr. Masiwa, who sent me to school, and I thank him for this moment. If you grow mangoes, you reap mangoes and juices. But if you develop and invest in people, you duplicate yourself. And I really thank him for that. And also my mother for being with me. I was a piece of work. I think our board member, Spencer Mangua, Jonathan Mwanga, who is amongst you, whom I worked with at Econet. I was even chased at Econet because of being ungovernable. But I was growing up. It was a way of making me grow and become a man what I am. And also not forgetting my wife. I was told to say I'm happily married. And my wife, Veronica, I love you and thank you so much for being and for keeping up with me. Leah and Chad, thank you so much. Our civilization is more than 5,000 years. And our people are remarkable people. And we will deliver what we are supposed to deliver. Like what my sister Veronica said, that I am Ari Goldstein. Ari means the lion of God. It's a Hebrew name. And I represent that. We welcome you to our product launch. So product launch, our product launch is not just product launch. It is our way to Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. But we can't go to Victoria Falls Stock Exchange whilst you don't know who we are. My brother Ken Shape does properties. CBZ takes your money, keeps it, and gives you interest, if they give you interest. Econet does whatever they do there. But they're there, you know what they do. INSCO, they killed 41 million chickens. Yeah, and you know why they are there. And Avantis, it is a company that was formed in the new dispensation. And I thank my president, Comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, who is a father to me. Because if a country believes in its young people, it becomes so dominant. If a people believes in their young people, they become so dominant and they can conquer the world. He believed in our idea. And they believed us to the point I've gathered you all. Some I texted you, some I blackmailed you. That, oh, you're not coming. Oh, really? But you are here because it is an idea which we thought we must pursue. We are in the fourth industrial revolution. And fourth industrial revolution is ICT based. ICT is different ballgame together. And I'm sorry to say this. If I'm not a friend of Sister John Rhodes. I never went to scholarship via Sister John Rhodes Scholarship Fund. I went to school via Capernaum and Higher Life Foundation. So if I talk about Rhodes, please, I have no connection to John Rhodes. But if Sister John Rhodes, the man who he was, if he was to be alive today, do you think he would plant mangoes and other things? Or mining or grow corn? No, the guy will be in ICT because it is the future. It is what it is. And we must embrace it. The way we embrace it is that police, the ministers, PEMSECs, the chief directors, and the politicians, they draft a policy that is in sync with what is needed. Thanks to Liquid, they've managed, and Tel1, they've managed, and Mtande and other guys, they've managed to put internet connectivity. But internet connectivity, it's not internet connectivity without a device. And internet connectivity cannot get the data that we want to have or to obtain. Internet connectivity goes hand in hand with a gadget. And a laptop is here to stay. To Zeus and Babbage, the guys that managed to make this thing happen in the reality. If you look at my birth certificate, it says I was born at Beatrice Central Farm compound. I was born in a compound. which you guys call Kombon in Beatrice, which is 53 kilometers from Harare. But a guy like me is dreaming now. And I'm introducing a computer that can compete with any other brand in the world. Not besides that I'm the owner or anything else, or with the founders and the designers. But we have tested it. Not only us, but ICAS and ICET, the recognized labs in this world that test computers, your Honorable Minister. They've approved our gadget, and our gadget is top-notch. Avantis Technology is an indigenous technology company established in 2016. We specialize in manufacturing devices, including laptops, tablets, desktops, television sets. We are also in the process of listing on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. There are two issues that are happening to the investors, pension funders, and bankers. We need to reach a valuation of 200 million and sales of $20 million for us to be able to list at Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. The process has already started. Our friends there, they are believing in us. Our partners in Germany, they're believing in us. And I want my people to believe in us. And our government is believing in us. And I thank that I give it to the president, because when we started, we actually started this thing with Mama Chibom Tas. May God bless her, she's a fundamental woman. Engineer Kundishore, Dr. Machengete from Portage. I have been at their offices more than 12 times with the different types of laptops. The other laptop, at some point, we had to put the fan outside. It would, the fan is supposed to be inside. But this one was outside. And the propellers of the fan to produce the cooling system, we did not figure out, Bruce and Tinashe Nyamtora, may God bless them, we could not figure out that it has to go this direction, but it was going the opposite. And we didn't figure it out until we have to present to them. And they were patient. And they encouraged us. In our showroom, we have all these machines, because we don't give up. We are the people that don't give up. From the beginning, our vision has been clear to build technology solution in Africa by Africans and for the world. If you look, I'm just telling this room, humanity buys something that is available to them. Whether you will like it or not, people will buy what's available to them. Put a Jeto, put a D4D, put whatever, a Toyota or whatever, in front of people, they will buy what's available. But in buying, they have to distinguish a brand. And then we say to ourselves, no, we cannot be just the assemblers and designers and the few. We must go beyond. People must recognize our brand. And I thank Mr. Nyangari, Mr. Mandivenga, Spencer, Melan, Pardon Jakach. At some point, I was appointed the brand manager for Econet Corporate. So they were setting me up. So when they make me a brand manager without any qualifications or whatsoever, so that they can manage me, because I was ungovernable, remember? So they sent me to Kwablawayo to be the head of Econet Wireless ZIT of, you remember, Smith? When I was the head of delegation, that's when I learned that you must put billboards. You must be on social media. You must make a distinguished brand. And that is very important to us and to our brand. Our brand, when people say your competition is, no, I say my competition is Mr. Dell and Mr. Hewitt and Packard for HP. And the new, okay, fine. Tom Cook is leaving Apple. There's a new guy coming in of hardware thing and so much. Those are our competitors. And those are our competition. And we will be competing with them pound by pound and computer by computer, because we believe that we can make a computer that can transform lives. Africa needs solutions. To be a great entrepreneur, we just to provide solutions. There is a Strait of Hormuz. Dangote was at 24 billion. He found a solution. He's at 35 billion. That I must put a refinery there, I must put a refinery there, and Africans can access oil without being bullied by those ones, the Iranians. I will mention it actually. Today we are more than just to launch a product. Today is the launch of belief. I was a street kid once, and I was picked from the street. And I said to him, no one knows the story. I said to him, I want to be like you one day. And they said, okay, fine. How are you going to be like me? I said, I want to go to school. And there was a man called Mr. Nyambai who used to stay at number 21 in Braeside. His last number is 181. I will never forget that number. I could go at the booth, you know, those phone booths, and I could beep him, and he could call me back, because he was the guy who was assigned now to deal with me, because there was no infrastructure at Capenham or at High Life or even at Econet. So I had to deal with him until I finish. I used to go, that's when I learned how to negotiate. So the money was not there, believe you me. But I would go to OK Zimbabwe without anyone's help and negotiate with the manager that this letter from Econet Wireless signed here, these guys will pay if you give me uniforms and I go to school. Mr. Mungazi was the general manager at Econet in Kadoma. He could give me, I was now in Kadoma because I was now going to school now. So I was now in the world. But he could give me uniforms, and I could change uniforms every term. School shoes, I could change. I would just go there and negotiate, and then they'll give me, these guys, they will finish whatever, and they will pay each other there, and it was not my business. My business was to get what I wanted, when I wanted. And I finished. And I calculated he spent more than $200,000 on my education. And I owe it to the people of this country. He does not need it, but my people need it. My nation needs it. And I'll make it happen. A belief that we can participate in the global technology industry, not only as consumers, but as creators. Avantis Paro 1030i laptop is a reflection of that vision, designed and built locally in Zimbabwe to meet international standards. It represents the capability, resilience, and potential of our people. For many years, the continent has imported innovation. Today, we begin contributing to it. Today, we are witnessing Zimbabwean technology stepping into the global stage. Our products are expected to reach markets across Southern Africa and the world. So, to the bankers, investors, and pension funders, here's the thing. We are 16 million here. So if we want to make an impact with 16 million people, it will take a miracle. But we will need to take an impact, capitalize on our non-aligned agenda as a nation and ideology, that we are enemies to none and friends to all. So the whole world is our customer base. If you go to Brazil and say you're coming from Zimbabwe, they will remember Zimbabwe, because Zimbabwe has got a unique story, a story which we need to take care of and manage it and get what we need. We are also investing towards the development of local artificial intelligence, models trained on African realities, languages, because technology becomes more powerful when it understands the people it serves. Here is the thing. Sam Altman and our best African American and the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, they're taking each other to court because of data. Sam is now worth $166 billion, not because he's a genius more than me or anyone else, because the set environment that he is in allows him to do that. And we thank our government official, Honorable Minister, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to showcase that what we can do, we can do. And what they can do, we can do it better. We have got friends in China, 1.4 billion. We will learn from them, and they will become our customers. We cannot be a nation that only exports avocados, oranges, and other things. We must be a nation that exports technology. Because if you export technology, you will be respected. You are not going to be on the dinner tables, but you're going to be everywhere else. And that's the data which we need to have and develop a model that will work. If we go to Nigeria, in Kano or Obunu State, it will work. If you go to Okavango, it will work. If you go to KwaZulu-Natal, India, it will work. So this is us, and this is where we are going. And I'm addressing this. It's a resolution that I've discovered that we are as good as they are. In the fourth industrial revolution, what they know, we also know. If it's 1 + 1 in Zimbabwe, it will be 1 + 1 in China, and the answer is 2. In America, the answer will be 2. In Angola, the answer will be 2. So we have discovered that no, in this fourth industrial revolution, it's ICT based, and we are also as good as them in physics and in mathematics. And we will take them head on. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, technology is not just about devices. It is about opportunity. It is about access. It is about economic growth, education, communication, and national development. We are now, like I said, in the fourth industrial revolution, where technology is blurring the lines between physical, digital, and biological spheres. Artificial intelligence is slowly growing around us, as witnessed by the advent of self-driving cars, drones, virtual personal assistants, digital fabrication technology are interacting with the biological world on a daily basis. So, the time is now for governments to establish digital infrastructure and treat them as critical investments like roads and hospitals and schools. And most probably in 10 years, 20 years' time, I cannot see schools being there. Things are changing at a very, very, very uncomfortable pace. And we must be part of that agenda. I would like to thank the government of Zimbabwe, Honorable Minister, Pemsek Chirume, Pemsek Matekaire, Nkoma Nick Mangwana, Chief Director, for believing in us. If you believe in your young people, because AI, it's not the robots that sing and jump and dance in unionism. That's not AI. I mean, we have been watching TV for a long time. The robots were there and jumping and everything else. But now AI is a different thing. It's a language, it's a model. And this is the model which we need to develop as a country. Chief Director, I know you've got passion on this issue, as well as Dr. Matekaire, and we will deliver on that. Ladies and gentlemen, Avantis was started in 2016. I borrowed my brother Raymond Chigogwana $1,000. He managed to give me $700, which I bought a Lenovo laptop, a desk, and a chair. I didn't have an office. I started to work, and today I thank you, my brother, for believing in me. It's years back, but we are here now. And we are here not as passengers. We are here as partakers of this agenda, of the fourth industrial revolution. And to that, those who helped us, the Almighty, our people who believed in us, my wife, Honorable Gashambi, a man who registered our company, Love Mochamato, for free. I thank you. Sunduza, who believed in us, who stood by me when the rest and everyone else was not wanting to be associated with me. He was there for me. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ari Goldstein. One more time for him. Thank you very much, Ari, for taking us on a journey with you and explaining how things came to be. Now, you talked a lot about believing in yourself, about believing in Zimbabwe. And you said we must be a nation that exports technology. And you got a round of applause for that, because I think that's the kind of visionary leadership that we need. And Avantis computers, you said, can compete with any other brand in the world. And why not? So you talked about starting in 2016. And Ari, you said you were ungovernable. How bad was it? And you talked about being ungovernable, but even your laptop fans were ungovernable because they were outside the computer and rotating anti-clockwise. But that was 2016. And you can talk about lessons like that with so much ease today, because look where you are now. And we celebrate that growth with you. And you talked about being a street kid, literally. So imagine, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to just put something into perspective. Ari stood here tonight and he said, he's speaking to the investors, right, and the people that might partner. And he said, we're needing a 200 million valuation and sales of 20 million to reach Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. Now imagine that kind of mindset shift from being a street kid to however many years down the line, speaking like this to a room full of all of you. Because in this room, I mean, this audience looks quite distinguished. Some of you look like you own data centers, or others look like you own the banks financing them. There's a lot going on here, you know? But this is somebody who's explained his humble beginnings. And what he spoke about in his speech, in a lot of ways, was a vote of thanks. He was actually just saying thank you. And he mentioned people by name. So I think that moment, if anything, makes this evening, Ari, it was that. So thank you for setting the tone. Thank you for sharing your heart. I think you could have gone on and on. And we could see it at some point, you even got emotional. So we shared that with you. So thank you and well done. Well done. And now I'm introducing someone who, again, from his background, he never would have imagined would be representing him at a fora like this. I'm introducing the highest office in the country now. The office of the President and Cabinet came here to support this man. He's here for you, Ari. And I'd like to now welcome the Permanent Secretary of E-Government, who is coming now, Dr. Matekaire. Please may you come and take.
Other ministers here present, permanent secretaries here present, other senior government officials, investors, and other partners who work with Ari. I've just been bulldozed by Chief Secretary to just come and give a few remarks and words of encouragement. Dr. Chirima didn't say obvious, to words of encouragement to our youth so that they feel inspired by the belief that government has reposed in them, and also to make sure that the challenges that we face are not universal. They are unique to us, but definitely what we need to do is the moment we begin to recognize the strength of our youth is the moment we begin to see the strength of our country. So very important that from the description of life about Ari, I could pick determination, I could pick resilience, I could pick frustration, but I could pick zeal and the desire to live. You know, the strength to say, I will go on. But also, one of the things we don't understand in our youth is the rebellious attitude in them. And probably, from my science background, we always say, whenever you follow things that fall within the normal distribution curve, probably that's where we miss, because that's normal. But the moment you follow outliers, that's when you begin to find something new. You innovate when you look at the outliers rather than to confine yourself within the normal. You have been unique, Ari. Even your humble background has shaped you into a person that has seen value in others. But not only have you shown value in others, you have shown value and power of determination by appreciating your country. And this is the few words that we have that as government, from the Chief Secretary, will continue to shape the way youths think and promote you as you begin to rebuild our country, and so that we leave a legacy of hope, a legacy of inspiration. I thank you.
And now we hear from the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, representing the arm of government that basically is the parent ministry to what we're here to celebrate tonight. So to introduce our guest of honor tonight, I'll introduce the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Beulah Chirume. Please may you come up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies, and I also want to recognize you at this very beautiful evening, which is marking a difference in the history of Zimbabwe in terms of innovation and our capacity to do things. Let me also acknowledge the guest of honor, whom I'm going to introduce shortly. I have two counterparts here. The one who's just spoken, who is the Secretary for E-Government Technology Unit in the Office of the President and Cabinet, and also the PS for Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Mr. Nick Mangwana, Namai Mangwana. Let me also recognize the board chair for Avantis Technologies, Mr. Cassius Gambinga, and also in a very special way, the founder and chief executive officer of Avantis Technology, Mr. Ari Goldstein. Senior government officials who are here, any members of the diplomatic corps in our midst, distinguished captains of industry and commerce, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, may I say all protocols observed. Now, Ari, when you were speaking, I was torn between being a PS and being a mother. Let me be very honest. Because what you have just shared with us this evening moved me to say, born under very difficult circumstances, as PS Matekaire has just alluded to, you have today, the 14th of May 2026, congregated us from the various maybe perspectives that we come from to be here to celebrate your achievement. I think that deserves a hand of applause. And not only that, he understands very well that technology is better when it understands the people that it is going to serve. I thought that was fundamental, because the technology that we are using is made from elsewhere. Now, when you come to the AI that the guest of honor recently launched, it makes it even more difficult, because the context of the large language models that we are using is completely different from the values and aspirations of Zimbabwe. And that I want to applaud you for. Honorable Minister, I know I'm going to introduce you, but Ali has just said that digital infrastructure should be treated just as roads, schools, prioritized in the same manner. And I think everybody here is holding their phone. Everybody could be reading from the phone as I'm doing. But this is very important. This means that we are moving towards a digital economy, which the Office of the President and Cabinet is leading us. And we would want to see evidence of our young people, evidence of the Zimbabwean citizenry and community participating effectively in that. Let me thank you, all the investors who are here, who have supported this young man to achieve what he has brought us together for. Let me now move to why I'm here. We have in our midst a very distinguished lady, very hardworking, very agile, wanting to move things forward each and every day. And the beautiful thing is that, unlike me, she is a youth herself. So when she sees young people delivering, when she sees young people innovating, that is what excites her and makes the core of her mandate, that the young people of this country should turn around the economy. She's an accomplished politician, by the way. She's a technologist, an accomplished politician, hailing as from Chikomba West constituency, where she stands as the Honorable Member of Parliament. And she has held quite a number of portfolios, and the portfolios are increasing. I'm sure you saw her launch the AI strategy that I talked about, but she also, at the continental level, she sits on the Smart Africa Intelligence Council, and she's actually doing a very, very good job representing Zimbabwe and also making Zimbabwe head in terms of our thoughts, in terms of our focus, in terms of not only AI, but other technologies as well. In terms of achievements, I will not go into this because this is very, very long. But you know, she has been recognized for quite a number of, and acknowledged for quite a number of achievements. For instance, the most influential young business leaders, as well as the Zimbabwe Achievers Award for advancing women and youth leadership, and also ranked as one of the most, rather top 50 most influential women in Zimbabwe. And you know, she is not, I was just chatting with her, and I'll say to Honorable Minister, please forgive me, but today she was defending her PhD thesis. And I was just asking her, Honorable Minister, how did it go? Says, I know, PS, it went well, but I have to correct, being very honest. Otherwise, she would have said, PS, everything went well. Says, no, but I have to correct my literature review and so on and so on and so forth. I should be done by the 5th. That has got a date to it, by the 5th of. So that's the minister that we have. And Ari, this is the leadership that we have. And let me rest assure you that the Honorable Minister has what it takes to drive the digital transformation of this country. And this is the reason why she's here. Can we, at this moment, put our hands together as I humbly invite the Honorable Minister, Honorable Tatenda Mavetera, to give her remarks and officially declare that Avantis has been officially opened.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are you all today? Good. May I please have a roving mic? I hope you have it. Thank you, Ruvi. Allow me to recognize the MC for today, Madam Ruvi. Yashonga mfano wangu. Please, can you help me with what I want to do?
Oh, sure.
I was listening to Ari whilst he was speaking. and I'm sure there's quite a lot that you learned. What is it that you learned? Did you learn anything? Maybe I'm asking the wrong crowd. If you learned something, at least raise your hand. Okay, good. So, Madam Ruvi, just go at least to 3 tables of your choice. Select someone that you think is able to respond to this. Yeah, it's very
All right,
important.
I've got someone here
Oh,
who's
a
quite
volunteer,
eager.
that's good.
Please, as a way of just knowing who you are, your name and where you're from.
My name is Vusumuzi Chigombe. I'm from AB Communications. One thing that struck me is the tenacity, the ungovernable part. Because in the fourth industrial revolution, we need to be ungovernable. Thank you.
Thank you, well done. Thank you. Love it. Let's have
Good evening. Thank you so much. My name is Sandra, and I'm super excited for the launch. And one thing that really struck me is, you know, when we have to travel abroad, we no longer have to appear on tables as food, but now we are in the technological aspect, we are recognized. So it's something that really stood out for me, and it's something that I'm super proud of. I am excited because there's a lot of resilience that has been mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you, well done.
And then for our last contribution, who is under the age of 35 in this room? Why are you lying? You too. How old are you? Team Avantis. Okay. Anyone under the age of 35? Are you here? Let's hear from you.
Good evening. My name is Takudzo Membere from Lafua Designs. Today I heard that, or I learned that Avantis is not just a company, but this is a national development which is there to also uplift us as a country and us as Zimbabweans. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I didn't get time to speak. Do you still remember me? Are you sure? Okay, good. Well done. So Mkoma Cassius, I knew him a very long time back. And that time, he used to be together with Mkoma Exodus. And I remember they were sponsoring Junior Parliament. And when they were sponsoring Junior Parliament, I was actually a junior parliamentarian. So I'm glad to meet him after a very, very long time. Good to see him, Mkoma Cassius. The Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Beulah Chirume. The Permanent Secretary for the E-Government Technology Unit in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Dr. Matekaire. The Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Information, Broadcasting and Publicity Services, Mr. N. Mangwana, Nemkoma wangu Mai Mangwana. Honorable Kashambe, who is our Central Committee member from the district that I come from, Seke constituency. Seke district is the MP for Seke constituency. I've seen Comrade Sonduza again, who is our Secretary for Security from the Bulawayo province. Let me also recognize, I see UNDP is represented here today. I also see TEL1 senior government officials here present, distinguished captains of industry and commerce, representatives from the ICT sector, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to join you today for this important occasion, marking the official launch of Avantis Technologies products, Avantis Parrot 1030i, which is a laptop designed, partly assembled, and partly manufactured right here in Zimbabwe. Well done. Today's event is not just the launch of a gadget. It is a demonstration of confidence in Zimbabwe. It is a declaration that Zimbabweans are capable of building, innovating, assembling, manufacturing, and also competing on the global stage. Allow me at the outset to congratulate Mr. Goldstein, the Avantis team, their technical partners, and all stakeholders who have contributed to this milestone achievement. under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, the President of Zimbabwe, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa. The government has consistently emphasized the importance of innovation, industrialization, digital transformation, and private sector-led economic growth as key pillars towards attaining Vision 2030. When His Excellency, our President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, says, "Nyika inovakwa nevene vayo," a country is built by its own. It is not merely a slogan. It is a national call to action. It is a challenge to Zimbabwean entrepreneurs, innovators, engineers, investors, and industrialists to rise and play their part in building the Zimbabwe that we want. The President's mantra also says Zimbabwe is open for business, which was directed exclusively to foreign investors. But of course, it was equally directed to Zimbabweans themselves. It was an invitation to local entrepreneurs to dream big, invest boldly, and innovate confidently, knowing that the government stands ready to support productive enterprise. Today, Avantis technology embodies that spirit. The local assembly and partly manufacturing of laptops, desktops, and other ICT products is fully aligned with our national ICT policy, Smart Zimbabwe 2030 Master Plan, and National Development Strategy too. And indeed, our recently launched, by His Excellency our President, our National Artificial Intelligence Strategy. These policy frameworks recognize that affordable and accessible ICT devices are foundational to the development of a modern digital economy. We cannot meaningfully discuss e-learning without computers in schools. We cannot fully embrace e-government without adequate digital infrastructure. We cannot industrialize effectively without technology. And we certainly cannot participate meaningfully in the fourth industrial revolution while remaining mere consumers of imported technologies. This is why initiatives such as the Avantis technology are so important. They contribute towards digital inclusion, they create jobs for Zimbabweans, they build technical skills locally, they strengthen our national industrial base. Allow me to say Zimbabwe is not merely a consumer of technologies. It is indeed a producer and assembler of technology solutions. One of the most important aspects of today's launch is that this is a homegrown initiative, leveraging local partnerships, including the utilization and assembly facilities of ZITCO and associate company of Tel1. This demonstrates the power of collaboration between local industry players, where we need to advance more national development objectives. As the government, we strongly encourage more partnerships of this nature. The future of our economy lies in strategic cooperation between the public sector, state enterprises, academia, innovators, private industry, to just mention a few. The nation has to develop in union. The nation has to develop not in silos. Last week we went to Kariba, where the e-government was leading an ICT directors workshop. And what we agreed is that we need to move away from the silo mentality. Let's work together, collaborate, so that we achieve the Zimbabwe, digitalized Zimbabwe that we want. I was particularly encouraged to hear that Avantis speaks about research and development, local skills development, artificial intelligence, sovereign data infrastructure, and innovation ecosystems. This is the way to go. These are just not supposed to be concepts, but these are the building blocks of our economy, and more importantly, our digital economy. As a government, we are fully aware that data, artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and digital platforms drive the future of our global economy. Zimbabwe, therefore, cannot afford to be left behind. This is why the National AI Strategy emphasizes on ethical AI development, local innovation, digital sovereignty, skills development, and infrastructure modernization. I therefore commend Avantis Technology for positioning itself not only as a hardware assembler, but also as a long-term participant in Zimbabwe's digital transformation journey. He mentioned about portals. We have already agreed to say, definitely there are a lot of initiatives that we do as government. And the starting point should be, if we have got our own solutions which are local, why can't we start capacitating those? This is the way to go. We need to be able to start thinking to ourselves to say, if our own Zimbabweans are coming up with these products, government is the biggest buyer. So we need to really make a deliberate policy which is aligned to that. I'm glad our PS Matekaire and our PS Churume are here. This is supposed to be the trust. We are here, let's be able to accept this. So I'm glad that already has been put in place. We need to buy Avantis computers. We need to buy the ones which are produced locally, so that at least we can capacitate them. Hallelujah. As we celebrate local innovation, we must also speak candidly about standards and quality. Patriotism alone cannot sustain a technology brand. Quality must always remain paramount. Consumers deserve durable, efficient, secure, and globally competitive products. It would be unfair to expect Zimbabweans to purchase inferior products merely because we want to support local industry. Therefore, we are supposed to build local brands. We need to build products that can compete favorably with international brands in terms of performance, reliability, and after-sales support. Zimbabwean products like Avantis are here, and I've realized that they don't want to compromise. They want to be associated with excellence, and well done for that. I'm therefore pleased that Avantis Technology has emphasized quality assurance, transparency, and also accountability in its production processes. Government remains committed to creating an enabling environment for ICT investment and innovation. We continue to work towards improving the ease of doing business, expanding digital infrastructure, strengthening connectivity, modernizing legislation, and supporting industrial growth. To local entrepreneurs gathered here today, let this launch inspire you. To investors, both local and international, Zimbabwe is ready for digital business. To young Zimbabweans pursuing careers in technology, engineering, and innovation, your country needs your ideas, your creativity, and your courage. The future of Zimbabwe's digital economy will not be built elsewhere. It must be built from here by Zimbabweans. As government, we welcome a lot of developments, and we want to also congratulate Avantis Technology on its reported plans to be listed on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. This reflects confidence in Zimbabwe's economy and demonstrates a commitment to transparency, governance, and also long-term growth. And behind every great national endeavor, there is a face. There is a mind that refuses to accept the world as it is and insists on building the world as it should be. Today, I want to speak directly about this young man whose vision has brought us to this moment, the founder of Avantis, Mr. Goldstein. I've met a lot of young, brilliant young people who come to my office with these brilliant PowerPoints. Hello? And, they've got very clever talk. These young people who always come to my office. But one thing that I've said, I really want to thank the President, His Excellency Dr. Edi Mnangagwa, for giving me an opportunity to lead the digital transformation of this country. When I first got into this office, I said to myself, boy. But then I understood why His Excellency put me in such a position. I meet all these young people every single day, coming up with all their ideas to say, Honorable, this is what I want to do. They even claim wanting to bring the clouds down. But I'll tell you, when he came to my office, of course, he's from my constituency. He told you about Beatrice. That is the constituency that I lead. But when he came to my office, I thought he was coming in to talk about politics. I'm being honest. But he didn't come to do that. He came and he was very clear. One, he never came asking for a handout. Are we agreed? He came with a schematic. He came to me and said, look, Honorable Minister, I'm here. And I want to tell you that I want to come up with a product that is able to compete with Hewlett-Packard, HP. And I looked at him and I said, look, this guy. And he says to me, look here, I want to go toe-to-toe with those giants at Silicon Valley. And he said to me, I want to do all this, but I'm going to do it from the Zimbabwean soil. Hello? So then when he said that, I then say to myself, this young guy, as it might seem, has got a vision. And all we can do as government is for us to support. I know here some of you in this room, maybe you're just smiling politely. Or maybe some of you are even saying, who does he think he is? But look here, I'll tell you who he is. This guy that I'm talking about is a person who has never been crippled by what has always existed in the past generations. He is that kind of person who is really living rebuttal, where he has to lie and say to himself, I want to bring the innovation to Zimbabwe. I want to be the next person that Zimbabwe will always speak about. And I really want to thank you for this vision. And I really want to commit to say, as government, we are ready to support. As government, we are here to make sure that we will be able to add to the digital transformation by Avantis. Allow me to also say that the journey you have embarked is not for the faint-hearted. You need to be quite strong. You need to be relentless. And at the same time, you need to have endless scrutiny. But at the end of the day, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. And one thing that I would like to say to you is that, look, HP started in California in 1939. And they started off just 2 engineers who had a dream. Started off with about $538 of investment. You were talking about $700 US. Is that so? But there he is today. To speak and say to himself, he's saying, no, 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 no. I am here and I want that $700 to come up and yield a lot of results. The Parrot 1030i is your first punch. And I want to tell you that Kwame Nkrumah declared that we must prove to the world that it is possible to manufacture in Africa. But we are saying it is possible to manufacture in Zimbabwe, innovate in Zimbabwe, build a technology from Zimbabwe. And that is the Zimbabwe that you want. So allow me to end by really assuring you and saying, yes, it's not all about Silicon Valley. It's not about Shenzhen. Yes, they've established quite a lot, but here is a new competitor in the arena. And all I can say is Zimbabwe is open for technological business. That is our policy, that is our vision, and that is our promise. Today we celebrate innovation, we celebrate Zimbabwean industrial capacity, we celebrate partnerships, we celebrate the ingenuity of our people, and above all, we celebrate the growing confidence that Zimbabwe can and must become a producer of modern technologies. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to officially launch the Avantis Technologies product range and the Avantis Parrot 1030i laptop. Congratulations once again. I thank you.
Right, so at this juncture, where is the laptop underneath that beautiful looking situation there? All right, so we are going to now officially launch the Parrot 1030i. If you can't see from where you are allowed to be upstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. All right, it's being pulled out. Honorable Minister of ICT, Honorable Tatenda Mawetera, as you can see, the Parrot 1030i, that is the gadget. Please hold it up for people to see. Yes, the size, I wonder, is it light? Is it heavy? It's medium. It's in between. All right, so there we go. There, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're here for tonight. The Parrot 1030i by Avantis Technologies. Congratulations, Ari and your team. It is officially launched by our Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Tatenda Mawetera. We celebrate it and we thank you. Right. So there's going to be an opportunity to appreciate the products throughout the evening. So please make sure that you do take a minute. I think we're going to, at the time that we break for dinner, there'll be different points that have the machines. So you can go and see them and view them and touch them and feel them and experience them. So please make sure that you don't leave tonight without knowing exactly what has happened here today. I know it seems like it's far, but there are points throughout the room where you can appreciate it and see it.
And to you all, on behalf of our family, on behalf of the entire Avanti team, I would like to sincerely thank all of you for joining us on this special occasion. An occasion that means a lot, not to just me as a mother, but also to the whole entire team and many other people, friends, partners, supporters, government officials who have been mentioned as part of Ari's journey. As a mother, this moment is extremely emotional for me. Ari was once a young orphan boy with a dream, and I must say, a very big dream. Amongst the many children that we had, Ari stood out as somebody who was very ambitious, very focused, and somebody who knew exactly what he wanted. And I must also mention something that probably nobody mentioned: very compassionate, very, very compassionate. And having experienced life on the streets, he also always looks back to take care of others who are living in disadvantaged situations. And today, by the grace of God, he's leading a project that represents innovation to all of us, that represents vision, and that represents hope for Zimbabwe's future. We are in very good hands when we have leaders like Ari. And what makes me even prouder is that he joins many other young people that our organization, which was formerly called Capenham and is now called Higher Life Foundation, the many children that we raised. We don't call them children, we call them leaders and we call them partners. And we are so excited to have Ari as one of the partners who is not only doing great and big things in this nation to advance the 2030 vision, but also to ensure that other young people also take part and participate in this journey. And it is truly a blessing to witness what our children, are doing. And I would really like to thank God. We're an organization whose values are very, very much rooted in faith in God. And so we take this opportunity also to thank God for his guidance, for his favor, for his protection throughout Ari's journey. I don't think he would have been able to get as far as he did had it not been also for his faith in God. And to all our partners, our supporters, the government officials, I was so encouraged, and I was just whispering to the Rulimbo from the UNDP that these are very exciting times for young people, and you can tell by the caliber of leaders that we have. So to all our partners, our supporters, government officials, and everyone who believed in this vision. I would like to say thank you so much for standing with Ari and standing with us. It means a lot for him and for us as well, and especially your presence at this very, very important event tonight. It means more than any words that we can express. So thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless all Avantis technologies. God bless all our supporters. And very, very importantly, God bless Zimbabwe.